How to draw the solar system using Sketchbook. I used the Sketchbook app on the iPad to draw the solar system, following our instructions that may help you to make your own digital drawings using the same app. 1. Fill the background with black using the Fill tool. 2. Draw circles for the sun and the planets using the oval shape and technical pen, then color them in using the Fill tool. 3. Draw the planets' orbits using the ellipse ruler and technical pen, then lower the layer opacity. 4. Position each planet on its orbit and resize it if needed. Make sure the planets are in the correct proportion to each other. 5. Use the ruler and technical pen to draw a guideline of each planet's axial tilt. Mercury is tilted 0.1 degrees, Venus 177 degrees, Earth 23 degrees, Mars 25 degrees, Jupiter 3 degrees, Saturn 27 degrees, Uranus 98 degrees, and Neptune 30 degrees. Did you know that all 8 planets in the solar system revolve around the sun in the same direction as the sun's rotation, which is counterclockwise? 6 of the planets also spin around their axis in this same direction. Venus, however, spins around its axis in a clockwise direction. This means that in Venus, the sun rises from the west and sets in the east, and Uranus rotates on its side. This causes it to have the strangest seasons. During summer and winter, it's either always daytime or always nighttime, which can last for 21 Earth years each. And during spring and fall, the day-night cycle lasts only about 17 hours. 6. Add texture and flares to the sun using the charcoal texture. 7. Add texture and details to the planets using the charcoal texture, the felt pen, and the pencil. I also used the airbrush tool to add detail for the Earth's atmosphere. 8. Draw the rings using the synthetic acrylic brush, tattoo inker, and the oval shape. 9. Draw the belts using the drops shape and the symmetry tool. I used a light shade of grey, changed the size to 40.2 and the opacity to 83%. 10. Add stars using the sparkle shape. It is important to first reset the advanced settings, then change the size randomness to 10.9, rotation randomness to 87.1, and spacing randomness to 8.1. In the basic settings, I changed the size to 17 and used different opacities. I also used different colors for the stars and did them on 3 different layers. 11. Draw the moons and dwarf planets using the same method used to draw the planets. 12. Add comets by making little circles using the fountain pen, then create their tails using the smudge web brush. Did you know that a comet's tail always faces away from the sun? And did you know that the time it takes for a moon to go around a planet depends on how far it is from the planet? If the moon is closer, it goes around quicker. Mars has 2 tiny moons. I didn't draw them because they are really just lumps of rock. Deimos is only 13 kilometers across and takes 30 hours to orbit Mars. Phobos is 22 kilometers across and takes just 7 hours and 40 minutes to complete its orbit around Mars. Jupiter has over 59 moons. The first 4 of them to be discovered were Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. Io has over 400 active volcanoes that spew out sulfur. This makes colorful patterns on its surface. Europa is the smallest of the 4. It is covered entirely by a layer of ice on top of a layer of salty water. Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system. It is bigger than Mercury, with a diameter of 5,269 kilometers. Callisto has an icy surface that is the most cratered in the solar system. Saturn has over 56 moons. Titan is more than 5,000 kilometers across. It has a very thick atmosphere as well as rivers and lakes of oily chemicals. Mimas is less than 400 kilometers in diameter and has a huge crater 140 kilometers across. Enceladus has a diameter of 500 kilometers. It is so bright and shiny because it is covered with ice. Icy geysers erupt near its south pole, and the water fills up the craters on that side before turning into ice again. Uranus has over 27 moons. They are named after characters from plays and poems by Shakespeare and Alexander Pope. Neptune has over 14 moons. Triton is the largest. It has a very thin and cold atmosphere, and its icy geysers shoot out plumes of nitrogen gas. There are hundreds of dwarf planets in the solar system. Ceres and Vesta are in the asteroid belt. Pluto, Eris, Haumea, and Makemake are in the Kuiper belt. Pluto is 2,377 kilometers in diameter. Its largest moon, Charon, is about half its size. Eris is almost the same size as Pluto. Its discovery ended Pluto's status as the 9th planet. Haumea spins around its axis so fast that it is distorted into an egg-like shape. It is one of the fastest moving objects in our solar system. 13. Finally, you can add labels using the text tool. To label the planets, I used Optima Bold Italic and scaled it to 20%. And to label the moons and dwarf planets, I used Optima Italic and scaled it to 14%. It was tricky to scale the text, so I needed some help with that. I recommend that you place each object in a separate layer. This will make it much easier to move and resize it later. The app might run a little slow if there are too many layers though, so I merged the labels into just 2 layers. Also, if you draw something and then change your mind about its color, you don't need to redraw it again. You can play around with the HSL adjustment settings or the color balance settings of the layer the object is in until you get the color you want. I hope that these instructions will help you to make your own digital drawings of the solar system. But remember that the most important thing is to first research and get all the facts about what you want to draw. If you find it hard to draw at first, you might find it helpful to insert a picture on a background layer and then slightly reduce the transparency in the front layer so that you can trace over the background. But it's always best to be creative and use your own ideas. Prepared by Rayyan Ayman Salman BinZaiman, with a little help and guidance from my mom and my big sister Sarah.